When it comes to becoming a better communicator, here's something that we often don't think about, but it's very useful. And that is establishing relationships prior to the time that you need to communicate and influence someone. And it's predicated on this idea that communication is something that you do in real time as well as something that you step into. And what I mean by step into, it just means that, if you think about all the aggregate times that you've interacted with somebody, communicated with that person, all of those combine and impact how you interact with them in the moment. So think about it this way. Imagine that you have an employee or a colleague who you never ever talk to. So there is no history of communication. And then all of a sudden, one day you kind of step into that communication and you try to have a conversation with them or ask them about something, and there isn't that rapport, there isn't that built up connection that you've developed over the course of time. So communication is a little bit more challenging, influence is a little bit more challenging. Or think about another scenario where perhaps you didn't particularly get along with somebody and all your communications with that individual has always been a little bit fractious, a little bit conflictory. I don't even know if that's a word, but you were just fighting with each other. And then all of a sudden today you need their help. How likely are they going to be influenced by what you have to say, let alone do what you want them to do? And then one more scenario is imagine that you have a very strong relationship with them. You're always just having chit-chat with them in the hallway, you're running into them, giving them compliments, helping them when you can, being a very great colleague, very collaborative. And then one time that comes up where you need to influence them, you need their help, you need to communicate a message to them that really needs to stick, and you speak with them, and it's much more likely to connect. And so that's a very powerful concept to keep in mind. Your ability to impact today in your communication, in your influence, is literally influenced by every previous communication you've had with that other individual. So the takeaway is this: if you want to become a much more influential individual at work, whether you're a leader or not, invest in generating social capital, building relationships through communication, through regular interactions. So when it comes to times where you really need to influence and communicate with someone, they'll be much more receptive to do so. Good luck.